Hey, welcome. It's Wednesday afternoon. It must be the home buying seminar. We get together Wednesday afternoon. I'm Bill Gross at Bill Gross Probate on social media, along with my good friend and colleague,
Yes, Patricia Castillo.
and our good friend and lender.
Hello, Gustavo Segura. Hello, everybody.
And we live stream this. I don't see anybody on yet, but we live stream this on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. If you're watching this on recording, if you put comments in, we'll pick up after the fact. We'll circle it around. If you're watching this live, I see somebody just popped onto Facebook. You're watching this on live on any of the social media channels. Feel free to comment. We'll watch your comments live, and we will do our best to respond. So, hey, congratulations, Patricia. Something told me you just closed an escrow.
Yes, I sure did, Bill. And it went very smoothly, might I add.
I saw you said that. Like, really? Were we in the same escrow? That went smooth?
I thought it did.
Well, relatively speaking, but
Yeah.
good news is it was a probate. It was a full authority. We needed the NOPA. That got done. So that was the main hiccup from a probate point of view. We had multiple offers. I don't represent buyers in my own listings because I think I can't do the job for my sellers that they need. And Patricia was a great buyer's agent and really worked me over pretty good. Submitted a great offer. It was all put together nicely. Was communicative up front. We accepted her offer over, I think there were about 6 other qualified ones, maybe another 5 or 6 that weren't qualified. And we marched through the escrow and got it closed.
Yeah. Yeah, it was interesting. I mean, it's a really nice property, that pocket of Inglewood. It's called Morningside Park. And it's just a really nice location. So it's going to be a really great investment for my client because he bought it at 830. Once the property is rehabbed and flipped, the resale is probably somewhere about 1.2, 1.3, depending on the finishes and all the final touches. So it's a really great investment.
Yeah, and this was a challenge. This is a case where I think she and her buyer earned their way in that we had very limited access. Patricia worked with me ahead of time to get in and see the property. I allowed agents who submitted qualified offers to get in to see the property before we had it open to the public. And then we did have a bunch of offers in, and I think some buyers, took a little longer. But at the end of the day, as a listing agent, we create competition, and then we find the buyer who's I think most motivated. And Patricia's buyer was motivated. I still think we were able to work some details to make it work for him as well. And so I think we end up with 2 parties are satisfied with the transaction.
Yeah, 2 happy clients. It was a win-win situation.
Fantastic. Unfortunately, we didn't have a lender on that one that we love, Gustavo, but we'll have to get you on the next one. So, how about those mortgage rates?
Yeah, they keep on, playing with our emotions, right? Week over week, day over day. Job report came out last week, and the market reacted well to it. But then this week, we're bumped up again.
Well, initially we went down, right? Initially this week, rates went down, not up.
Down.
We went from 7.39 last week down to 7.06, and I was getting ready for this call this morning. I think we're at 7.08 or something, and all of a sudden, kaboom! What happened today that goes right back to 7.33?
Well, you have different, so they call them governors or presidents of the different, the federal banking system. So yes, we know Powell is our main chairman, but there's other region, right, that make up the banks. And as they go out and they speak and they, give out their interpretation of what's happening, everybody's hanging on what they are saying. Are they saying that they're going to raise again on September 20th, when the meeting comes up? Do they sound like they're leaning that way, or are they sounding like they're going to let it be? And a lot of that is what fuels the market right now, that anticipation, speculation. So that's what's been reacting a lot to, like you said, today and yesterday. So I'm hoping that we're going to have some new data, which will hopefully show that we don't need to raise it anymore, the Fed fund rate, by September 20th. But worst case is they can probably raise it another quarter basis points.
So we went from excitement of 7.07 to wow 7.3, and you can see year to date
Yeah.
we were between 6 and 7 almost all year. In August we kind of moved above the sevens, and we've been every time we get down below to near 7.0, it pops right back up again. So it seems like the new normal is in the lower third of the sevens or so, at least for now. What does that do
Yeah.
for demand? How do you see that affecting potential buyers that you're working with? Patricia, what do you see?
I mean, so, you know, my clients are pretty much conditioned right now to these rates. It's really not a huge topic. Of course, you know, we're looking at keeping an eye on the rates to see if they go down, but I've already been explaining to them that, you know, we're not going to see the twos and threes anymore. So those days are long gone, and whoever did capture that opportunity was, you know, very lucky to do so, whether it was a refi or a purchase. But I'm really seeing a lot of buyer demand still, even though the rates are where they're at. And I'm more focused on getting a property for my client that's going to be functional for them as far as the floor plan and the square footage, and seeing the potential of the property as well. So if it has the square footage on the exterior, then we can work with that as well, you know. So it's really just about strategy right now and preparing your clients to make sure that they have the finances to make the monthly payment every month, and have all of their documents, you know, updated and just cross-checked with Gustavo as well, so that we can make sure that when we do find a property, they're ready to go. So it's really about staying prepared in this market and not having to get prepared because maybe you stopped looking for, you know, 2 to 3 weeks and now you want to get back into the game. So it's really keeping up to date with all of your information. And I'm still seeing a lot of buyer demand.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's the key. That as long as there's buyer demand, the rates can only go down so low, right? I think that's what's
Mm-hmm.
happened in the economy. At some point, the rates go up, and there's less demand, and then the economy slows, and rates go back down low, and more buyer demand, and that's what's oscillating back and forth between the two. Gustavo, what do you see? How is the change in rates here? Or you must have deals you pre-qualify on Friday at 7%,
Yeah.
7.08, and today are 7.33. What is that
Exactly.
like, and what's that doing to demand?
Yeah, so that gets people a little bit nervous, and it's because maybe they lost 25,000 dollars in purchasing power. So I think as it's always that question: do you look at a half full or half empty glass, right? And people that are making that big step into buying, they may see it as like, well, the rate's going to continue to go up. I don't want to make a bid. I want to wait a little bit. And others will look at it like Patricia said. They know it's a good investment opportunity. They know they can move forward with it. They still got some wiggle room in their budget, and they're marching forward. So what I'm trying to do is just continue to educate those that are in the fence about, should they continue moving forward, because it seems like every 3 or 4 days the rate's going up, whether it's an eighth or a quarter, and that gets people nervous, with any situation, right? And it's with these prices of the homes, we're having good appreciation, we're having some good values. So, that payment is a meaningful jump. It could be a $200 jump, it could be $300. So it definitely matters. But like I said, I just try to give them a little bit more of education, and then hopefully, what's going to happen here in the next couple of weeks.
I think one of the main points I try to emphasize is the prices don't look like they're going to go down.
Mm-mm.
There's so little inventory. They may not go up as fast or as much, but they say they can't go down. And in the long run, real estate has been a great hedge against inflation, in that if inflation means prices go up, that means housing prices go up, and you have a fixed mortgage at a fixed rate,
Right.
then you benefit from that. So it's hard medicine to swallow. But right now, I think the best medicine, if you can investment that cash flows, uh, or an asset that you know is going to appreciate and stay at least with inflation. And if you only putting a small percentage down, it's going to go up by maybe more than that. So it's a great opportunity. So any other
Yeah.
news, any other changes, any other information you want to report on that we need to talk about?
Well,
No, no. Oh, I was gonna say. Go ahead, Patricia.
go ahead.
Oh, I
I
was
was
gonna
just
say,
gonna comment, and
nothing.
maybe you can. Sorry, my internet's delayed. I was reading about the Dream for All program, and I know that ran out of funds so quickly last time, but I heard that they are replenishing that program so that and the funds so that it can become available this fall. But this is something that may have some adjustments to the criteria for requirements for qualifications. So I think it's something that maybe Gustavo can touch on once we have the date hasn't been released yet, but I heard that it's coming back this fall. So that is a pretty good opportunity for somebody that is interested in buying a home and can definitely use that 20% down payment assistance.
Well, I
Yeah,
can add
that's.
just a couple pieces. I know in
Go
the
ahead.
news, it's in the upcoming budget.
Mhm.
And can I just share, point of pride, the LA Times article that has that news in it has a picture, and you often see houses for sale with for sale signs. Can I just say that the picture they have is an EXP for sale sign?
All right.
It's the first time I've seen that in a major national news. We're the largest independent real estate company in the country. But hey,
That's right.
welcome to the LA Times and Charlie Byens when he got that in there. So good job. And I'm sorry, Gustavo, you had something you
There
wanted
you
to
go.
add?
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, I've been hearing the same thing where it could be, later in the year. It could be November, December of this year, or we could maybe roll into the first quarter. But yeah, we probably have better odds of getting lucky in that kind of program versus a lottery ticket. But
Yeah.
that is really a great opportunity for whoever gets that. I hear the number around 200 million.
Yeah.
Last time it was like 400 or so, 500. And as we know, that went in like 2 weeks. So this will also go pretty quickly within the first week or so, 10 days. So it's for those that are pre-approved already, shopping around already. The program will open up. I'm pretty sure everybody will submit into the program. And if you happen to get a contract right away, then you can go ahead and finish out your application for that program in order to be evaluated. So you really do have to be 3/4 of the way done so that you can then just quickly get into a contract and then be able to submit for it.
Right. In order to have those funds reserved for your purchase.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because it goes through the lender, and then the lender also goes through California in order to CalHFA in order to make sure that everything is in sync.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anybody listening that's interested in the Dream for All, or that might have, a family member or friend that's interested in buying, definitely give us a call so that we can try to get you in there. It's going to be very competitive, and it's not going to be the same amount of money that was available the first time around. So it's about, again, being prepared, acting quickly, and being ready to go.
Yeah. And there's also I've talked to a couple home buyers where they know that the inventory is limited. They know it's hard to get outbid. Right now, it's getting really competitive still. And I always tell them about properties that maybe are staying a little bit longer in the market. Maybe there's an opportunity there that maybe there was a price reduction. Maybe there's some seller concessions that could be negotiated. So even though there's still a lot of competition, there might be still some opportunity out there, depending on the area, of course.
There is. And, when a listing hits the market, the first 2 weeks are really critical because that's when all eyes are on the listing. So we've got real estate agents, investors, buyers, everybody's looking at the new listings within the first 2 weeks. So if, some of these listings, they are priced too high. And so they end up staying on the market for maybe, 4 weeks, 5 weeks. And after the third week, you'll probably see a price reduction. Well, by then, they get kind of lost in the shuffle. Now there's been more listings that have come on the market. So now everyone's eyes are on those listings for the first 2 weeks. So this is a great opportunity. If you've seen a property that has had a price reduction, not one, but two, it's probably been on the market for over a month. this would be a great opportunity to jump on this because the seller is most likely ready to negotiate even more. You might get a concession, for your closing costs, or come in at a lower price and they might still accept it.
That's right.
Well, okay. So, yeah, sometimes there's reasons why property's on the market for a while. The property you just closed, 78th, I didn't have access inside of it for about 2.5 weeks, but I put it on the market to get smart agents like you and smart buyers like yours to look at it when they had the chance rather than wait and tell me how rushed everything was. And so we were on the market, I think, about 17 or 18 days before we even before we got people in the property. And so sometimes that's the case.
Yeah.
So I do think it makes sense to talk to the agent and find out what you can.
But you didn't have
expectation.
multiple price reductions.
No, we did not.
So that's right. That's the difference too, is
We
when
priced
it's
it
a
right.
property that has had multiple price reductions, one or two, then, or in escrow and then back on the market, buyer fell out. And so those are the opportunities that are worth, taking a look at because now everybody's moved on to the newer listings.
Yeah.
Well, I do think if you have a property that your buyer likes, and I do this on even listing leads, I do a search in the MLS on that property. So as soon as it changes, I'm notified. Because what I don't want to do is find out a week later by doing a review. I want to get an email, hey, this property for Joe Smith, is updated. Oh, it fell out of escrow, back on the market. And the key there is to jump on it right away. Being a listing agent, there's nothing better than when you put something out of escrow. Now, I usually call the agents who had shown the property before we put it back on the market to say, hey, I'm putting this back on the market. Is your buyer still interested? And I did that with an escrow recently where we fell out, but we fell out and back in at the same time. And that kept us from being in that difficult position. So there's different ways to work it, and as realtors, you want to do what's best for your customers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, today I'm not rushed to get off of here because we moved this up a little bit to accommodate, but I have my Brew real estate event in the Miracle Mile area of LA. It's just on La Brea, south of Wilshire. If you're there between 5:30 and 7, love to buy your free beer. If you're a real estate agent, either register or bring me a business card. I know, Patricia, now that you're a big-time listing agent, you're too busy to come up to LA for that, but we had you in the past. Gustavo's busy down the OC. It's a long way to come from behind the orange curtain to come up to LA. But if you're watching online, you're a real estate agent, love to have you visit us. Again, it's at the All Season Brewery, the Firestone building on La Brea, just south of Wilshire Boulevard. I'd love to have you there visit us.
Where do you park, Bill? Do you go for the valet?
I do. I have to tell you, I feel very privileged to be in real estate and this stage of my career. And so I know that people struggled. I know the valet, for example, cut their hours. They cut from whatever to whatever. And so, but I also know that when I pull up, the guy jumps me at the front of the line and he parks my car at the front. So not only I valet, but I overtip a bit, to be honest. But I feel like that guy's been hustling. I don't want to go to business. I know these small businesses, the valet company, the restaurants, the bars, are all under pressure. They're under pressure from COVID, and I think in LA, we don't live in the OC. I live in LA, where it's tough to operate a business for a lot of reasons. So to answer your question, I do valet, and I do overtip the guy who runs the valet, and that's one of the fun parts about the whole process for me.
Great.
Hey, you come up, Patricia, I'll pay for your valet. How's that?
I'll be there, Bill.
Really?
Yeah.
Today?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So,
I'm
so,
in my car. I'm actually sitting on Santa Monica Boulevard.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. How exciting.
So probably about,
person.
yeah. I'll see you soon.
Okay, Gustavo, you won't be there because he's behind the orange curtain. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have to have left probably around 1:00.
Yesterday at 1?
Yeah. They have one.
Okay,
Yeah.
1?
You could helicopter up, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, going that way is not so bad. It's the other way that's, I think, the problem. Anyway, at all, if you're south of the Orange Crush, there is no rush hour time. It's always tough. So, okay, well, I think that's it. Any last words? Let's wrap up here today. We'll do this again next week. You can watch us on YouTube or Facebook. Again, if you have comments, you're watching on the replay, feel free to add them in. I see we have nice little attendance on Facebook and YouTube. Last questions, Gustavo, before we go? Last comments, questions, suggestions?
Just to, consumers to stay focused. Don't get discouraged. The rates will be coming and going. It's good to have a conversation with someone that can educate you and not just give you rate quotes, because the rates are changing daily. So even as we speak now, I could check with 5, 6 different lenders on the wholesale side, and the rates are going to be, coming in differently. So make sure that you know that this is the right step for you. What do you need to get that done? And then just being able to keep moving forward.
Outstanding. Patricia, any specific last suggestions?
Yes. Don't lose sight of the goal, which is home ownership. You're better off paying your own mortgage than your landlord's mortgage, and also incurring rent increases every year. For the most part of this year, earlier in the year, all the news, media channels were saying how the housing crisis was coming and, it was going to crash. And here we are. And the market is still very resilient. It's strong. And, this is your best investment for your family. So stay committed to the course, and we're here to help you.
Fantastic. And I would say the thing we talk about every week, get pre-approved before you start, is amazing to me. How many people get in a process and they're not properly pre-approved, they have some problem, and they're scrambling around trying to get their offer accepted. This is no time for amateurs. You have a great opportunity to get the property you want. The rates may be a little higher right now, but if you're the first one in and you have the best offer, you're going to get accepted. You can save some money on it and take advantage of the opportunity. So I'm here to help. Thank you, Gustavo. You can reach him on his phone number at, go ahead, Gustavo.
714-334-4563.
Give him a call if he can help you on the lending side. Patricia is a great real estate agent in Downey, the Beverly Hills of the 562, but her number doesn't start with 562. What's your number?
No,
Patricia?
it's, I've had it for about 25 years, so I can't change it. 323-365-9909.
She's an OG from Downey, back when Downey was a 323. I remember when Downey was a 213.
Really?
That's how far back I go, yeah. I go back to Downey 213, and I grew up in La Habra, which was a 213. Now that's a 562 as well. So I grew up in what's now 562, but when I grew up, it was 213 all the way through LA County. I'm Bill Gross. I'm on social media at Bill Gross Probate. Love to help if I can help any way. Text, call, email. Make it a great day. Thank you, everybody, for being on, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank
Thank
you.
you guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.